Oh my goodness. I'm just sat there staring at myself. We are live. We are live. Hello, we are live. Welcome, 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 welcome. My name is Bianca Jane. I'm that plant-based weight loss coach. Thank you so much for coming. If you guys are brand new here, welcome along. If you're brand new here and you need a little bit of consistency in your life, maybe consistency is the thing that's been throwing you off your weight loss goals. Maybe consistency is just the bane of your inconsistency is like the bane of your life, then this is going to be the video for you. Okay. I don't know whether I've directed you to this video or you're joining live. Either way, welcome along. If you're watching live, please jump in the comments because I have no idea if I'm talking to myself for the half an hour or if I'm talking to anyone else. So, Angie, thank you so much for jumping in live. Hi, Angie. Usually I like to just announce that we are live. So bear with me 1 second and I am going to jump in and let everyone know, because the problem is, and you guys, if you're in with me, you know that I always like chatting with you. I'm always in the DMs. I'm always talking, always figuring out how I can serve you better, how I can serve you full stop, and how I can give you content that actually helps, that lands, that hits, that slaps, that resonates. I want to make sure that the content that you're consuming is going to help you reach the next level, right? And so we've got a few people joining. So I'm just going to pop in here. Hey, everyone, we are live. Epic. So I always want to know that you guys are watching and if it's of any use for you. So please, please, please jump in the comments. Let me know you're here. Let me know if this resonates. Let me know if it slaps. Let me know if you're enjoying it or if you're not. But ultimately, today we're just going to dive into one of the most important ingredients for success in life, in anything, in relationships, in self-care, whatever it is. Basically the best ingredient in life, but especially in weight loss, which is consistency. Okay, so if you've ever felt like you're doing all the right things, but not necessarily seeing the results, or you've struggled to stay on track, then this live is going to be for you. So I really want to break down first what consistency really is, how to create healthy consistency, and why it's the game changer in your weight loss. So what does consistency mean? What is it? And what does healthy consistency look like? So consistency is not about, contrary to popular belief, is not about showing up repeatedly. It is not about being perfect every single day, but it is about putting in effort every single day. It is about taking small steps in the right direction. Healthy consistency is really not an all or nothing approach. And this is where people get really stuck. A lot of people feel like if they don't turn up and show up and produce their best work every single day, then they're not being consistent. People feel like if they're not always lifting heavier weights at the gym, then they're not being consistent. But it's not about that everything versus nothing. It's about balance. It's about understanding your priorities every day, every week, every month. They're always going to change, right? It's about understanding your priorities and having a plan that feels sustainable to you. Okay. It's the opposite of burnout. It's the opposite of extreme diets. It's about knowing what works for you and sticking with it, which is most important, even if some days are less than perfect. So, step one to improving your consistency, I'm going to want you to recognize your non-negotiables, and we're going to create some bare minimum baselines. So we want to recognize non-negotiables. These are the things that you say, do you know what? If shit hits the fan, if everything goes wrong, these are the things that I want to make sure that I do. These are your minimum baselines. For me, my minimum baseline is 10,000 steps a day. 3 liters of water Monday to Friday. My minimum baselines change on the weekends because I don't have ridiculous expectations that the weekends are the same as my weekends. My minimum baselines are 3 healthy meals a day, especially Monday to Friday, usually Sunday to Friday. Saturday, I allow for pizza, right? I allow for those things. But then my non-negotiables, journaling at least once a day, and checking in on myself at least once a day. These are my bare minimums. These are my baselines. You don't have to copy them. You don't have to stick with them, but that's what I do. But they're the things that you absolutely must do to stay on track. So they might be drinking enough water during the day, eating at least one plant-based meal a day, getting a minimum amount of movement, like 10 minutes of walking a day, right? Your baselines are your safety net. What you do on your busiest and your toughest days, what you do when life gets in the way. They should be simple actions that are realistic no matter what, because consistency doesn't mean hitting the gym for an hour every day. It could mean just committing to 5 minutes of stretching or 5 minutes of movement every single day. So your baselines are going to be just the things that keep you afloat, not keep you on top of the water, but just afloat, right? Just kicking. They're not things that are going to take hours and hours and hours that you can't realistically do on a busy day. And that's where we come into problems, is because we think that the things that we need to stay consistent need to take hours upon hours, but they don't, right? The things that are going to keep you consistent are going to be your bare minimums. And these are going to be the things that keep you just floating. So step number two is overcoming the all or nothing mindset. So one of the biggest barriers to consistency is really thinking that you have to do everything at once to see all the results. Let me know if this resonates for you. Does anyone feel like they have the all or nothing mentality? Drop in the chat. So this is a belief that can make weight loss feel so overwhelming and unattainable. We have this perfectionism inside us. Well, if it's not perfect, if I don't get 10 out of 10, if I don't do all of the things, then there's no point in doing it. If that resonates with you, ask yourself, is there a point in doing something versus nothing? And be honest with yourself, because I guarantee you, if you turn that question around on you, you would say, of course, there's a point doing something over nothing. So you know that that is just some bullshit excuse that your brain is giving you. Here's the truth. Weight loss doesn't have to be hard. This is kind of like the theme of the week with my clients this week. Every week, there's like an underlying theme that everyone's experiencing, which is crazy because everyone thinks that they're the only person experiencing this thing. Everyone thinks that they're the only person that can't lose weight, that their age or their this or their that is getting in the way. Everyone thinks that they struggle with something in particular. But it's funny because everyone thinks that. So we're not unicorns and we're all experiencing the same hardships. Anyway, weight loss doesn't have to be hard. And this is the theme of the week. Everyone feels like if they're not struggling and they're not deprived, then they're not losing weight, which is quite amusing at times because the clients that I've spoken to today have seen how weight loss can be effortless, but the brain is still going, oh, I'm not struggling, I'm not deprived, I must not be losing weight. Oh, weight loss must be hard. It must be hard for us to lose weight. That's not the truth. And weight loss can be done with simple actions, small little traits, or small little behaviors that don't feel like a chore. We can trade out some pieces, like some unhealthy food for healthy foods. That could be a way that we can make weight loss easy. Right? It could be little behaviors and habits that we do. They just don't need to feel like a chore. For example, imagine swapping a sugary drink for a sweetened beverage as the first step to reducing sugar. Imagine adding a handful of greens to your meal, not taking anything away. Imagine practicing just a bit of portion control by eating a couple of bites left and leaving 2 bites on the plate. These are very, very tiny habits, tiny behaviors, but all of this creates a bit of consistency. Imagine if you left 2 bites behind at every meal, right? I don't mean like put it in your mouth to measure and then spit it back out, but imagine if you left what you would assume is about 2 bites on your plate at every single meal moving forward. Now, if you were consistent with leaving 2 bites behind, which is not going to make you feel deprived, it's not going to make you feel restrictive, you're just leaving 2 bites behind. Imagine how consistency will add up over time. Over time, you've created a masterpiece. You've saved yourself over a week 1,000 calories just by leaving 2 bites behind. Doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. That is what you choose to believe. The systems that I use, the systems that I coach, the systems that we teach inside this area, this portal, this community, it's all very intuitive. It's very logical. And because it's logical, because it runs off of our human instincts and needs, it doesn't need to be overwhelming, but we just think that it's overwhelming. We just think it is. And that's when we really run into problems, when we allow our thoughts to take over. Anyway, this leads me to step number 3, which is micro improvements and the compound effect. So consistency isn't about radically overhauling your entire life overnight. It's about making small and incremental improvements just each day. This is where the compound effect comes in. So the compound effect is the principle that tiny actions, when done repeatedly, create big results over time. So imagine a marble statue. Well, that wasn't done with just one chip. Just done. Boom. Beautiful, godlike model. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. There's thousands and thousands of chips every single day. Every day that artist is going at that big granite, marble, whatever it's made out of, stone, and slowly chipping away and creates this masterpiece. That is the compound effect. With every chip, every decision, every bite that you take, you are deciding. So I like to think of it like this. Imagine I have 2 empty jars. I decide to lay in, I put a coin in this jar. I decide to go to the gym, I put a coin in this jar. Every decision I make, I'm mentally putting a coin into one of the jars. Now, here's the thing. This jar over here is the reality that I'm experiencing now. And it is the negatives that I don't want to see. It's the illness, it's the sickness, it's the overweight, it's the frustration, it's the boredom, it's the loneliness, whatever it is, that's the jar. Whereas this jar over here is that future version of you, that person that you want to step into, that person that you want to become, the best version of you, the one that's thriving, the one that's bouncing off the walls, the one that's talking to hundreds of people, you're in conversation, you're feeling confident, you're feeling sexy, you're feeling strong and powerful. That's that version of you. And every decision you make, you either pop a coin in that one or that one. So pop a coin in the experiences that you're the life that you're creating and living right now, or the life that you want to create. And think about it. One coin in each isn't going to make a difference. But a whole stack of coins in one is going to make the difference. That is the compound effect. Walking 10 minutes every day might not seem like much, but over a year, that's 60 hours of movement or more. Eating one less processed snack a day adds up to thousands of calories saved in a month. By focusing on those small and manageable improvements, you get to build momentum and confidence, and you can avoid that burnout. So step number 4 is embracing inconsistency and adopting it as a learning opportunity. Now, here's something that might surprise you. Some inconsistency is actually good. Why? Because it gives you a chance to reflect adapt, and strengthen your commitment. When you slip up, instead of beating yourself up, think of it as an opportunity to practice determination, to practice problem solving, to practice correcting your behaviors, to practice learning what works for you. Instead of going, shit, well, that didn't work for me. I'm just going to give up now. I'm just going to quit while I'm ahead. When you do get some inconsistencies, you can consistently pick yourself back up again. And this is where you build strength and resilience. Ask yourself, what caused that slip up? How can I adjust so it's less likely to happen again? What small step can I take right now to get back on track? The more you shorten the time between falling off the wagon and getting back on, the stronger your reflex becomes to continue as normal. So instead of thinking, oh my God, I didn't do this and it's slowing me down, I'm probably not doing enough, I'm not putting in enough effort. Instead of thinking that, shift the thoughts, shift it to, this is where I get to practice how to rebound effectively. This is where I get to practice reflection. This is where I get to practice correction. And step number 5, I was going to say step number 5, sorry. So they're the main things to do with consistency. And now I have 5, not steps, but I have 5 reasons why you might struggle to stay consistent, okay? So 1, you might have unrealistic expectations. This is very common. Expecting perfection or immediate results, that just sets you up for failure. So remember that those small steps are going to lead you to bigger changes. Unrealistic expectations look like something that you know that you won't be able to repeat if shit hits the fan. You can always eat when you're hungry. You can always stop when you've had enough food. We don't need to keep piling in the food when we know that we've had enough. We know that we can always choose the best and healthiest option available to us. We know that we could probably always go and take a little bit of extra movement. We can stand at our desk. I guarantee you there are ways, if you were really brutally honest with yourself, that you can improve just a little bit instead of trying to improve too much. And then we're setting these unrealistic expectations. Number 2, the second reason why we might be struggling with consistency is it's just not sexy anymore. It's just not sexy. You might have just lost the appeal. Here's the thing. When you weren't motivated, when you started, you weren't motivated. You just weren't motivated in the start. You just desired an outcome. You had a little dream, a little desire. I like to look at motivation like this. We don't wait. We sit and wait for motivation to slap us in the face. But it's not motivation that slaps us in the face. It's a desire to make a change or a desire for something else. We then act on it. We then see a result. And then from that result, we're more, or actually motivated to keep moving on. So when you see results by the actions that you've taken, you then feel motivated. So at first it might have sounded sexy that you wanted this dream with this dream body, but now it feels hard. Now it feels tough. Now it feels like we haven't got a result in 2 weeks where we've been doing well for 2 weeks. Surely the scale should have budged. This isn't sexy anymore. It's not fun anymore. So you lose that fun. So you need to keep that fun alive. Number 3 is this all or nothing mindset. So thinking that you have to do everything perfectly or not at all can derail your progress. Number 4 is external pressure. So comparing yourself to others, that is like a deadpan slap in the face to yourself. So a lot of us compare ourselves to others to try and meet someone else's standards. That's going to take you off track immediately because it doesn't fit your life. It doesn't suit you. Someone is living in a different book, in a different chapter of their life. They've had different experiences. They've met different people. They've absorbed different knowledge. There's no point comparing your weight loss journey to someone else's. because their journey is not even similar, no matter how much you think it's like yours, it ain't similar. You have everything that is different, even to your neighbor. You have completely different life, completely different background, completely different upbringing, different family, different values, different morals, different principles. All of those are going to shape the person that you are today. Those are going to shape the person that you are today, is going to create the behaviors and habits that you have today. Comparing yourself to others is just pointless. It is anti-productive. And number 5 is no plan for setbacks. How many of us actually make a plan and go, do you know what? This, and this might get in my way. And this is going to be how I overcome each of those. We just make a plan and we cross our fingers and our toes and hope for the best. But life doesn't always work like that. So if we're going to plan for challenges, plan for some setbacks, look and have a poke around your plan and see where some pitfalls might be. Might you be late? Could you get stuck in traffic? Could we end up going to a different restaurant? The good news is that all of these are fixable with the right mindset and strategies. So just to summarize, consistency isn't about being perfect. It's about making small, sustainable changes, learning from your setbacks, and building habits from the ground that stick. Ladies, I want to know if this resonated with you. So just send me a DM now. If you're watching this, flick me a DM. Flick me the biggest takeaway that you got from this video. I'd love, love, love to hear from you. I've got a call in 10 minutes. So I'll probably jump on tomorrow and jump into my inbox. And I'd love to hear from you. What did you take away? Oh, if you're watching this on replay, still flick me a message. I'd love to hear from you. Just send me a DM. Like, what was your biggest takeaway from this video? I'd love to hear. You never know. We might even be able to help you scale your goals, scale your habits, maybe scale them back in order for you to create consistency. So that if life, if Christmas, if the cat vomiting on your carpet before your client, whatever gets in the way, so it doesn't. Okay, we might be able to do that in the DMs. Who knows? Remember, ladies, every small step that you take is really a step closer to the healthier, more confident version of you. And one more thing, please, please, please notice how I always say the healthier version of you. This means that she's already there. The one that's consistent, the one that's confident, the one that's compassionate to herself. She's already there. She's the best version of you. She's already ready. She's waiting. She's waiting to play. You just got to let her take the wheel. Just know that your best version of you is already there. You've got this. I look forward to seeing you all soon. And please jump into my inbox. It's nice to hear from you. Hey, lovely, I'm home and could jump on. Yay, Tracy, that's so nice of you to see us join. Hi, Kaz. Hi, Brenda. Inspiring. Yes, oh, that's exactly how I'm improving my life. Thanks for your guidance and your support. You're magic. I have to go, but want to watch when I get home tonight. Heart. Awesome. You're most welcome, Brenda. I'm so glad you found this inspirational. Jump into my inbox and let me know what, if anything, resonated. Carolyn, I had a stressful week, and you're right. I did my baseline habits and I've only just realized I did that. Amazing. Even though I kept thinking I didn't do that well. So thanks for that. No, you're welcome. And this just goes into that like unrealistic expectation, right? Is know that those basics, the basic things that I'm assuming because you didn't recognize that you'd done them, that they are now just natural. They're just habitual, right? And so it wasn't a constant thinking, oh, I've got to do this, got to do this. But because they are your baselines, they are like your non-negotiables, that then creates this beautiful flow of consistency where you get to stay healthy, look after yourself, and you don't even need to think about it. That's amazing. Awesome. Yes, natural. Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me, team. I very much look forward to hearing from you guys in my inbox soon. See you soon. Bye.